there. This is a really interesting day. It's been pretty intense. Today's Mayan day is 12 rainstorm, and it's going to be really interesting because tomorrow will be 13, which is the last of the numbers or the galactic intentions, and it's going to be a how, which is sun or Lord, which is the last of the Mayan sun signs. So maybe part of this intensity I'm feeling is working up to that. That's kind of unusual. It doesn't happen all that often. So I went way back for this journal to January 19th, 2010. The Mayan day was 3 Reed, and it's called, believe it or not, DNA restructuring and Mobius loops. Okay, I don't know anymore, as usual, what is up? What is going on with me? Things so constantly changing has become somewhat of an odd norm. It takes some getting used to, some real surrendering. Surrendering of what? Of thinking you know anything, I guess, at least partly, but there's so much more to it. One is rather constantly surrendering the old eyes, the old way of viewing things, in order to open up, to be ever open to the new, which is constantly appearing. I no longer want to even go back to consider, was it always like this? And maybe I just didn't notice because of my belief system or something. That question is boring to me now. It just doesn't matter. This is what is, and that is fine. I am content to be in this now. Our DNA, what the scientists have ridiculously called junk DNA, is rebundling itself, is restructuring now. That's part of the upgrade we're undergoing, how our electromagnetic frequencies are rising. Most all of us feel this intensity, this rising of vibration. Children are more commonly coming in now with 3 strands of DNA intact and working. Who knows, maybe more. And some of us are catching up with them now. Are you one of them? I know I am. That's partly why, or at least how, these changes are so radical. It's not like just changing your beliefs, your ideas, your philosophy. I mean, that would be big enough. And sure, that's a part of it, and an important part. Our vision, our ability to see, both within and even without into the matter dimensions, is upgrading. Many are having the third eye stimulated or awakened. That too is linked up to the DNA changes via the pineal gland. These awakenings, these changes are so radical, so widespread, that it almost mandates a biological or physical component. For so many of us to be experiencing changes that are so powerful, so intense, and life-changing, one would expect to find a physical aspect. As time progressively loses all sense of its meaning, the changes are oncoming so fast that it's often stunning. And that's part of what I mean when I say time is collapsing or losing its meaning. We might get some time to catch up with ourselves, but there's more major changing just around the bend, as long as we're open to it. That's the thing, of course. You have to be quick on your feet, open and ready to change, to accept the change that's oncoming. Oh yes, you get to choose whether to flow with it or not, but it's oncoming regardless. In the end, I think, your choice is really how easy do you want to make it? How nimble, how flexible can you be? We cannot be too attached to anything in the matter spheres, the physical dimension, and still be sufficiently nimble to do this dance. It requires a certain level of disidentification, backing off from both the form and the mind, these dance steps. That helps tremendously anyway. That's why I love the no mind concept, that whole experience of the letting go of just everything. The changes it brings on are amazing. One cannot explain them to another, though. From the point of being identified with the mind, of thinking that is the identity, one simply cannot see past it. There is a definite barrier that must first be crossed before one can entertain these new states. And until we cross that barrier, until we make friends with the no mind, it beggars the imagination to try to grasp the changes, the differences. Thus, I will not try to convey them. I don't need to teach anybody anything anyway. Boy, 3 N's, that's quite a lot. The thing is, though, you already know it. Anything I could say, you already know. It's just that we have forgotten. That's a big part of what being in embodiment is, this forgetting. There, deep inside, we have contact with this larger, broader, deeper part of us that already knows. That contact point is within everyone. You find it in the heart. And as usual, I just lost my place. In the heart, that's the portal, the entryway to the deep within. Come on, consider it. Everything is one, right? Even science, a la quantum physics, have established this one with quantum entanglement of particles. No matter the distance between, every particle is still directly connected with every other particle. And this is the rule, not the exception. Okay, that means we have direct access to all that is right within ourselves. Think fractal. We are literally linked up with every atom and particle in creation right inside. Well, knowing that, we can access them. We can shift our focus of attention to them if we like. Many things are possible. Now, get out of the head and drop down into the heart if you haven't done so yet. Don't listen to the mind's objections to what I say. Just experience it. Just go within. You can come back to what the mind has to say later. For now, just let it go. Ignore it for a while. You can do that, you know. Mind does not require your supervision to operate any more than your heart requires your attention upon it to beat, to pump your blood. But anyway, no, I am not saying that I have suddenly become the fount of all knowledge and that I now have it all readily available at my fingertips, for heaven's sake. That is nonsense. That is the mind's way of looking at things, of trying to grasp and understand them, but from a very linear perspective. There is nothing linear about heart space. Linearity does not even exist here.